This is a Sports Catastrophe special presentation. Hey there, Heather, ho there, Chef Cutter Diamond welcoming you to another Sports Catastrophe video. We're not doing the Sports Catastrophe on this day and birthday boy anymore. I've done 4 years of that stuff, and lots of birthday boys, lots of on this days have been discussed. So this is basically an analytics video showing you what 4 years of doing Sports Catastrophe has done and has made things happen in such a way that it can't be undone. But the fact of the matter is that it was a great series. It had its 4 year run, and I'm starting to run out of like topics per day. And the rule is one per. And once I do one for a certain day, I can't do the next one. Like do it all over again, even in like an update. So the fact of the matter is that I'm going to give you the analytics of it, and it'll be in a few parts. Part one will be how many videos per month have been done in the whole thing, and the grand total of how many sports catastrophes I actually did for 4 years. Also, another part is through the years in basically the whole numbers for a 4 month periods and all that. And of course, finally, we'll talk about by sport, like how many per sport have I done and all that, with Birdie Boys and On This Days being mixed, of course. So buckle up. This will be fun. Anyway, this is a big one. So looking at the analytics of the 12 months, the month I did the least amount of videos within a certain month was August with 145, which averages to about 36 per year. Of course, most months is that you have a chance to do 62 videos per month, and February is the lowest at 112 potential ones. But there are days, of course, that there were no on this days and birthday boys, and practically just repeats and all that. So the fact of the matter is that the numbers are August was the lowest at 145. The second lowest was November with 150. February should be the lowest technically because it has only 28 days or 29 from last year. So they only have 113 combined days. But yeah, 156 for third last. November was 150, which was weird not finding topics for that. Meanwhile, the highest number were in the big September and October spree. September mostly because of the NFL coming up and old World Series stuff and like MLB Magic and the NCAA football as well. And October major because of the whole World Series feeling and maybe um, the true feelings of hockey starting, but basketball starting, college football being everything so it's huge and all that. So that's October was 193, September 186, and March 183. So those were the three highest months. And of course, as you can see, the grand total turned out to 2,056 videos. So if I did 2 videos a day, that's 1,028 days. That's roughly almost 2 years and like 10 months of continuously doing 2 videos a day and all that. But I've done 4 years of this stuff. So that's the first part of analytics. Let's go to the second part. All right. So as you can see, we got 2021, 22, 23, and 24 based off of the 4 month periods. When I did my playlist on YouTube, I made it easier for myself to figure out how many um, things were there. And I did it in 4 month periods. So I did a playlist that I put from January to April chronologically. No, per thing. So January to April 2021, January to April 2022, January, April 2023, and January, April 2024. So that I know my numbers and all that, so that how many per year I did. And that's how I got it. So of course the numbers would dwindle year upon year because certain days would not have any options options whatsoever. In 2021, I had 659 videos, as you can see by the board. 2022 was 562. 2023 was 472, and just this past year, 2024 was only 389. So that's still like more than one video every, well, 730 chances to have the videos. It's like more than 50%. Despite all that. And of course, everything dropped. From January to April, the 4-month period, in 2021, it was 230. Then it went to 184 in 22. 23 was 155, and last year was 125. In the middle months, May to September, 214 in 2021, 184 in 2022, 152 in 2023, and then 130 last year. And the last 4 months, 2021, 215, then 194 in 22, 23 was 165, and last year was 134. So, low numbers, if you will. So that's just what happens. So we got those going, and then I guess you want to know how many per sport and all that. I'll show you the numbers, and they're gaudy. So we give you sports, and I did it in many different things. I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 15, 17 different categories. From the major sports to a lot of things. Of course, as you see, these are the ones that I did less than 100 for. NCAA, it was either basketball or football. It didn't matter which one it was. It was deemed an NCAA thing, and that's what it was. So my highest peak was 21 in March, doing 21 NCAA because after all, it was tournament time and all that. So anyway, football would be more for January and December. Miscellaneous, which is sports not mentioned, like baseball, football, basketball, hockey, NCAA, soccer, golf, CFL, tennis, Olympics, auto racing, F1, WWE, boxing, UFC, or commentator stuff. Like the commentator stuff was basically birthday boys, and I think I did one on this days about a commentary, and that was Jimmy the Greek Snyder, I think, or I put it to NFL, I can't remember. But yeah, so miscellaneous. There were some sports like rugby, cricket, horse racing, sumo wrestling. Yeah, there were some weird sports and all that. But yeah, I put them in miscellaneous. There were 46. The highest number was in April with 10, doing 10 miscellaneous, and May was 7. So I didn't really do a lot about the Kentucky Derby for racing. And sumo, I think I only did, 3 videos? I didn't even do one on the greatest of all time, Hakuho. Golf had 65 videos, and the highest was 11 in April. Well, you can probably guess 11 and all that. And July was 10. So those were the highest months in the calendar because of the Masters and the British Open. CFL only had 38 in it. There were 18 combined for November, December, but that was basically when the Grey Cup happens, the CFL, the Canadian Football Championship. And a lot of the stuff from early days was just birthday boys and talking about franchise moves, especially the Montreal Alouettes move. Anyway, golf, well, CFL, and then tennis got 67 of them. Tennis, birthday boys, and other events. The highest number was 14 in July because, that's Wimbledon. 13 in September for the US Open, 10 for June for like the French Open, but only like a few Australian Open videos, all that. So that was kind of weird. The auto racing got 29. I split them off from F1 because, I'm an F1 aficionado more so than like NASCAR or / Indy. So like racing got 29 of them. January didn't even have any of them. February had 7 of them, buoyed by Daytona. And 5 in May based off of the Indy 500 and all that. F1 got 32. In March and April, they got 0. 7, the highest number was 7 in October. And that was when the F1 season pretty much ended. I did a few, like, in like May and June for like Monaco and the Canadian Grand Prix, but not a whole lot for F1. WWE got 10. I only did 10 WWE moments. I don't know. Well, I didn't do anything about the Montreal Screwjob. I think the on this day was about Hulk Hogan winning the championship, and then I had WWE wrestlers and all that. I didn't really give any major events because WWE is not really a major sport and all that. And then boxing got 55 videos. The highest was, well, there was like 10 in November, December combined, 7 in March, 7 in September, 7 in October. That's Birthday Boys, and of course, on this day, we're talking about events. UFC only got 8 specific ones. There were a couple of events I did, and some Birthday Boys, girls, and commentators. I got 30 of them done. The highest total was March and July. Mostly, Birthday Boys of great media members and all that, like Greg Gumbel, who just recently passed away this past week. So those are the guys that didn't hit the 100 mark. And now let's talk about the ones that hit the 100 mark. And then finally, we got ourselves the sports that made the 100 list. And there were 6 of them, obviously. The 4 major sports, the big 4 in sports, and then 2 other ones. The Olympics came in 6 with 122 videos about Olympic events and sports heroes associated with the Olympics. The highest number was 27, that being in August, when usually the Olympics happen in the world. 17 in September, 17 in February. Mostly for the Winter Olympics, 17 people, but of course there were birthday boys and girls who did the Olympics in February and some in September. Number 5 on the list was soccer with 143. And soccer legends like World Cup stuff, Champions League stuff, and birthday boys and girls. The highest concentration pretty much was in May, June, July. All 3 months had more than 20 videos in them. 24 in May, 26 in June, 21 in July. But you see, the whole thing is mostly due to the World Cup. So that's what happened in the World Cup. And then in number 4 on the list with 191 was the NBA. Birthday Boys and Magical Moments. The highest was in March with 28, which was shocking because it's March. But yeah, the NBA with like players and all that, and like Birthday Boys. June got 27 because that's when the NBA finals usually happen. 22 in February, 20 in January. So like low numbers for April and May, especially October with only 8 come up with 8. Number 3 was 3 with the NHL with 327, which is kind of strange. It's like, you're Canadian. Why the heck is hockey like low on your list? Well, I don't know. I guess baseball and football take up much of your time. But yeah, the NHL had at its peak, I got 41 in May, 40 in March. And a lot of them are birthday boys and, of course, famous moments that happened during the Stanley Cup playoffs. 38 in April, 41 in May, 33 in June when the playoffs usually take place. And there were a lot of them being birthday boys and girls. So that's practically why, I got a lot of NHL moments, like birthday boys and all that. Number 2 was the NFL with 349. The highest peak was, November and December got 76 combined, but January got 65 and 37 in February and 33 in March. They're the highest numbers. Well, January and February you can guess because of the playoffs and all that, and not really heavily centered on birthday boys and girls. So through that, and finally number 1 with 444 of my 2056 videos dedicated to it was baseball. April had 45, May 31, July 54, September 56, October 77, and then 67 combined in November, December. You could probably guess that, September, October is like playoff chases and chokes and playoff moments in the playoffs and try to chase the playoffs. Of course, a lot of this stuff is birthday boys, mostly like in January, February, and March, because, that's not really when baseball starts. So that's what you got. So those are the analytics I'm going to give you. I know I wrote down like for every sport and every like doing tally marks and all that, but I feel that I'm not going to share that because that's a little bit too much, and I've wasted 3 sheets of paper. But yeah, it was fun. It was hard. It took me 3 hours to get through all the analytics, like making tally marks, making sure that each thing was in the right spot. So, anyhow, that's all I've got. Sports Catastrophe will kind of be still around. It'll be mostly for special presentations and all that. But yeah, so that is a series it's done for, and practically, I've got the Cutter what ifs to worry about, and baseball starts it off soon. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'm Jeff Diamond. I do.